What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Banner Report podcast. We are coming to you live on November 6th, 2025, about 2.5 weeks into the NBA season, and it's already needlessly dramatic, and the Celtics are a roller coaster on a night-to-night basis, and I'm not having the greatest time as a Celtics fan, but as an NBA fan, we're so back. We're so back. Guys, how are we doing this evening, besides slightly angry?
Is this the most dramatic NBA season of all time already?
It's coming up, especially with like the federal there was like a federal committee that was dedicated to go meet with the NBA and discuss like the indictment and how to maybe ensure like there's already federal government involvement in sports gambling. Like we're that is like
literally a month into the season and we already got a gambling shit.
That's like going to be a defining storyline over the next decade. I think that's going to be one of the biggest things to come out of this decade of basketball and sports in general. Basketball is just on the front lines of it, but so that's going on in the background. Like that's fully in movement. And then you got like the, contract aspiration stuff that's like big for this season and next season, like immediate impact in the NBA. And then you just got night to night drama, like guys like Ja Morant being like, it's just chef's kiss. The writers did a great job. Unfortunately,
I was going to say, one thing that's interesting about that, like you said, it's definitely louder in the NBA about the gambling, but I'd say like the best player that's got caught technically is in the MLB with Clase. I mean, like the Ohtani stuff was nuts too, but I mean, like Clase is like kind of going through this same stuff, but I feel like since there's so many players in the MLB, it's not a star-driven league as much as like the NBA is. So I don't know. It's just like also the NBA is just way bigger in social media in general, so it makes sense. But yeah, it's like it definitely is more of a loud NBA issue.
Well, I just want to stop you right there. The biggest star to get caught up in gambling, sports gambling illegally, is Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah,
sort of. I mean, there was no. It ended up being. Yeah, right. But like baseball in terms of like the star. Well, I guess there's a coach that's doing it, and that's actually, that's arguably more impactful to the outcome of a game than one player's performance, I think, on a tank, unless it's, star player like Shohei, whatever, getting walked every at bat. I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been devastating. Dude, no wonder that got swept under the rug. I cannot imagine. That's just not, they cannot allow that to happen, him to get taken away.
Well, imagine if he gets indicted for 5 years on like a defrauding the whatever charge. Like
MLB loses billions of dollars, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it honestly probably be good for the balance of like parity in the league, make the Dodgers not such a fucking supernova of a team, but
stop the onslaught of all the Japanese stars are going to go there too because of all, like, obviously, like, why wouldn't they? So they're just they're gonna keep getting better.
I mean, it's crazy. The Shohei Ohtani is not just an investment in the player who's arguably the greatest to ever play the game. You're getting that guy. You're getting a guy that is going to he's going to pay off dividends a ton for, make you the team for Japanese, Asian American, or, Asian baseball players, Koreans to come over and play. You're now the landing spot there because you have that pipeline, and that is going to pay benefits and dividends for them long term. It's not just that. They're getting $1 billion athlete,
It's fun. Jokic has a mini version of that. It's funny. He seems to definitely like, did you see the quote he had with Jovic, where he was trying to get Jovic to sign with the Nuggets? It seems like Jokic tries to get Serbian players to sign for the Nuggets, which is kind of funny. It's not as OP because Serbia is not a powerhouse like Japan is, where Japan literally won the World Baseball Classic, but Serbia would never do that. But it's kind of funny how it was funny seeing that quote.
Close to winning in the Olympics.
They're pretty good. Yeah, they're getting better.
I mean, if he gets like both the Bogdanoviches over there.
It'd be fun.
The level of French talent in like the league is strangely, they could start a pretty good starting five.
Just gonna get insane.
If you took all the French.
They got be getting even better.
I mean, you guys like Koulibaly, or you got is Sar is Sar like half the Wizards are goddamn French. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. But so like we said, the NBA has been needlessly dramatic. Our Celtics are like, if you're in the Game of Thrones universe, we're like the fourth guy on the Night's Watch in the storyline, not not Jon Snow. You're not the hero. You're not going to be the favorite to win the throne. You know, you're not a powerhouse like Daenerys. You're like a guy who's going to get, killed off screen and told about.
Yeah. And the
We're
Battle
like-
of the Bastards.
We're kind of
We
like
just
Yeah.
I feel like we're kind of like was it Braun? Braun or Bran? What's the one that was friends with Tyrion?
Braun. Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of like him because we're like we have our time where we're gonna come up and we're gonna get what we want. Like we're gonna get that.
I love Braun. Yeah, he's a
He
great
was my
character.
favorite characters in the show. Like he got his castle at one point and his his queen or whatever, and that was us winning the championship. And then that went away, and then he had to go fight his way back up. And we're just kind of going through the ebbs and flows.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're a team that borders on one of the best when our offense is clicking. Like, could not contend probably in a 7-game series, but could beat anybody on a night-to-night basis, just with the way we play offense. But when it's bad, it's a miss. You lose to teams that are in full M1 Abrams enthusiasts like you, Steve.
Everyone
like
seems
the
to go cold
Wizards.
at once, man. That's what happens. Like when we go cold, it's like a whole team effort. I don't know what the fuck. Just cannot get it together.
And that's what I want to talk about. Let's analyze the last few games that happened since, we last spoke last week. You sneak one over the Cavs at home. I was at the game. That was a great performance. The Cavs were missing Garland. Other than that, they were healthy. And no excuse. And they got bullied. Which is strange because they have two of the better bigs in the league. And Neemias Queta was like putting them in their pocket, and the team was just shooting the ball really well. Anthony Simons really stepped up in that game. And then you sneak one over the Sixers, you get your revenge there. Then you get, this is where the talent disparity comes in with the Rockets. They come in on home floor and, embarrass us. Really show you where you match up.
I mean, yeah, I think they would have beat us, but I think that if you weren't playing them on the 5th game in the 7 nights, I think you would have had a better chance of that one. I mean, a lot of our wins this year are going to be through effort. So you're going to be hustling, you're going to be running your ass off, busting your ass. You're not going to beat a lot of teams with talent this year. So when you catch the 5th game on 7 nights, when you're winning on effort, then you got to go up against a team like the Rockets, who are a defensive menace.
100% effort every night.
Yeah.
And they're that good offensively,
and talent wise, like you have your effort guys, Amen Thompson, who is
who would be
levels.
who probably be the third best player on this team if we were fully healthy.
Second.
Then we'd probably win gold.
Well, yeah.
He'd probably win gold in the Olympics too. Like he's just an absolute freak.
He's an absolute stud. So that's a schedule loss right there. I'm not too worried about that one. Like
I don't know. I really
there's
think
not a lot of
worried.
teams that would have won that game. Like I think that the 2024 Celtics would have won that game just because we were so talented and we would have had a couple of blowouts in there where we would have only played 28 minutes. But this team, it's too reliant on effort.
This team is different. It's just it's totally stylistically different. And that's just because you don't have guys like Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday out there as your 4th and 5th guy who not only, and obviously Tatum is the big missing factor, but even with Tatum, I'm worried about how this team's going to look. Spacing wise, it's just not great. Even with JB out there kind of being the primary guy, it's still not looking great. And, I think a guy like Kristaps Porzingis really makes a difference in terms of our spacing, which allows for cleaner looks on the 3 ball, which we're going to shoot regardless. But now the looks are not so great, not so clean. The defender's a lot closer because there's no stretch threat. There's no stretch threat.
I feel like when you get Tatum in there, I feel like he's going to draw so much attention that those shots are, even without the stretch threat, that those shots are going to be there.
No doubt. And the ball and like the assists rate's going to go up just because of the way he, plays ball. It's just, even still, I think there's a real deficiency of talent after your first 3 guys on this team. And like, whereas your top line guys might be better, might be more game changing than the other team's top line guys, but the bench, it's guys who are just borderline in the league. And meanwhile, the Rockets have, like a stacked bench. They're looking for a deep playoff run. The Knicks have 9 guys they can throw at you at once. It's just, there's levels, and we're not close. And I don't think we'll be close unless we do something big when Tatum comes back.
Yeah, I agree. We need to add something. We need to add something pretty big, honestly. Because like even with Tatum back, like I could see this as like a decent team, but like you're saying, like at the top level, we're outmatched against all of the contenders, like 1 through 8. Like I'm obviously not talking about Tatum, but just like if you look at the full depth, you're like, oh crap, yeah, we'd get in a series against the other contenders, we'd get mobbed probably, which sucks.
Would Tatum on this team right now, let's just say he's fully healthy back, would we win 60 games in the East? Or just in general? With Tatum and
50-ish.
JB?
I'd say like 52, 53 in the East.
Yeah.
I'd say 50 is about the ceiling.
Yeah.
That's
I got
not
him at
going to win
46 this year without him, so I think you can get another 6 or 8 games with him.
Yeah, there's just there's a big talent deficiency, and you really saw that, and I think that was really shown on I know it's 5 games and what do you say, Steve? 5
7
games
nights.
in 7 nights. Like, I know it's a crazy amount of hoop, but I don't think it would have mattered either way.
Well, I think if you were facing like, I don't know, like a bottom feeder like the Wizards that we beat the other night on that 5th game in 7 nights, I think we could have won that one.
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Talent, like, you're not going to win that game. I mean, I think KD missed 1 shot that whole game. Like, it was just, that was unbelievable. It was a great performance by him. It was a classic KD performance.
They're a bad team matchup for just on the baseline statistics. They rebound really well. They play immaculate defense. They're just a really tough team for us, and they're big. They're one of the tallest teams in the league. So that's just a mismatch for us as designed. Even with Tatum back, we just don't have the size. We just don't have it. Then we beat up the Jazz. The Jazz come into town and beat us 105-103 on a fucking what's his name? Jesus, is it Nurkic? Yeah, Nurkic put back. I mean, they the whole fourth quarter they just played 3 7-foot guys, and that's how they won the game. They out rebounded us the entire fourth quarter, and they won on a rebound putback, on an offensive rebound and putback. It was just, yeah. I mean, that shows you the fatal flaw in this team is that there's not enough size and there's not enough interior defensive talent other than Nimi Keita, who's doing his best on a night-to-night basis.
Man, he's a big boy to be playing 30-something minutes a night too. That's tough for him at the end of a game.
Yeah, and we'll jump. Yeah, but he dominated against the Wizards. Now, the Wizards are not a huge team. They have a decent mix of size, and I don't think and I think if they weren't tanking, they could have won this game. There was some point where JB just took over and the Wizards just kind of let him take over, even though they didn't have to. And then we blew the lead out and we beat them. But for the first quarter, it was ugly basketball. And I think that they showed that they could probably, like, hey, we can if we want, but we just don't want to.
Not this year, at least.
No, yeah. But and I think the biggest takeaway, and a team that lacks talent, is how good Jaylen Brown has been. He is willing us to be a competitive team. I mean, he set history in that Wizards win. His 5th player, he went 35, 5 and 5 in 26 minutes. Didn't even play the fourth quarter. First player in Celtics history to ever do that. And he's averaging 28 points, shooting the ball incredibly efficiency, almost 40% from 3, our best 3-point shooter by far. 4 boards and 4 assists. He's getting a bit frustrated when we're losing these games like Utah. And I wonder if that spells doom for us long term. Because I think that he showed that his level. Do you think he could be a number 1? Has he shown that he's a number 1 on this team? No Tatum. Just take Tatum out of it. Is he a true number 1 in this league?
It depends on do you want to win a championship? Like, if that's your goal as him as your number 1, then I don't think that he's that good as your number 1.
Why?
I don't think that his facilitating is there. You have to be, if you're going to be the number 1 option on a team. We've seen guys that can score the ball, they can score a million points, but if you can't spread the rock, if you can't draw 2 and get teams in rotation, then you can't lead the team. Like we saw, that was the next step for Tatum when he won the championship, was draws 2, makes the right play, doesn't turn the ball over. Brown is still a little bit too turnover prone. Forces the game as your primary guy is not enough. I mean, there's not a lot of number 1s that ever won a championship averaging 4 assists a game. Like,
I wonder if if
special.
we weren't in such a slump shooting, you'd see that average tick up.
It will
True.
go up a little bit, but I think it might go up to what, 5.5, like per game.
We're talking there. That's pretty good for your non-point
4
guard.
and 5. I mean, yeah, but like, what's the turnover numbers for him right now? He's averaging about 3.5 a game, probably something like that. Just off the eyeball test, I haven't even looked it up.
That sounds right.
It sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
He gets the ball plucked from him when he's.
He's been an assist to turnover type of guy.
yeah, 1-to-1 on assist to turnover
Yeah.
is as your number one guy to try and win a championship is kind of tough.
So you think the answer is
with
no?
Tatum, that's fine. Yeah, like with Tatum, that's fine. Like we can have that, but without Tatum, we need more Tatum assist to turnover type numbers.
I think a good comparison would be him to like Jamal Murray. I think they're about on the same level. But
I think Jamal Murray's playmaking is far superior.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's other things that Jalen does that Jamal can't do on the other side. Like, defensively, he's better. So I'm thinking, like, just overall, I think they're about on the same level of player. So I think that's like where you would put the line at. Like,
Thank God
like
he's so healthy.
Or Booker too. I feel like he's a Booker type too. He's
a better Devin Booker to me, just based on size and defensive ability and ability to score in the paint. Devin Booker's fantastic at all these things. I just think that if I had to pick one, I'm probably picking JB.
But like similar issues though for like this sort of style. Like maybe in the past, like, but with today's game, yeah, like it's just like but just the same sort of issue. Like same Devin Booker in his prime. Like I don't know if he could be the number one on a chip team. Like we saw that kind of fail, honestly, and they had such a stacked team too around. But yeah, it's just tough. I think Jalen's an amazing player, like one of the best two men's you can have for a amazing championship team like we had. But for like, yeah, he'd be a number one on a good team with great role players around him. But I think with the talent in the league right now, it'd be hard for him to be a true number one champion.
He's averaging 4 turnovers a game. And that
4 turnovers, 4 assists. That's kind of
great. Yeah, but I mean, that's my one complaint about his game. He's doing everything else perfectly. I can't complain about anything else.
His mid-range this year is fucking like on Kobe level. Like it's as soon as he pulls up for that mid-range, I'm like, all right, well, that's 2. Let's just everybody jog back on defense. Like you don't even have to go for a rebound. Like he's playing probably like 3rd team all NBA level basketball right now. Like what you said, 28, 4 and 4. Like that's stud numbers, but
on great efficiency, 54 from the field and 40% from 3, or close to it, 39%.
Yeah, and he's not getting catch and shoot looks off of threes either. So he's obviously taking the correct threes to be shooting that high of a percentage. He's not forcing anything.
He can get whatever shot he wants. He just can. When I watch him play, he just can. Whenever he wants to score, he's the only player I trust in the Celtics right now who has the ball in isolation. That's going in. Whatever he wants to do.
Peyton Pritchard, when he gets 2 feet in the paint, he's scoring that bucket.
When he gets an inch of space in the paint, he is like stopping on a dime, 180, like fade away. It's money. It's money. But JB's mid-range is fucking money too. It's great. Like he's a great shooter from the mid-range.
The Celtics are taking the 2nd most field goal attempts per game from mid-range in the league right now.
Really? We're just chucking the ball.
Yeah. I think we're like 5th in 3-point attempts per game. 2nd.
No. I have the facts here. Hold on. I have it.
You do?
Let me just find it. Yeah. You're close though. Where is it?
It's got to be either Thunder or Rockets at 1, right?
No, Thunder actually.
We're leading the league in 3-point attempts per game. Oh. The Warriors are right behind us. We are 27th overall in 3-point percentage,
which is terrible. Like you don't want to be on both sides of that. You want to be.
And is that indicative of the talent? What does that say about us as a team? Like we're obviously throwing the ball at the hoop. We're just chuck and duck, and we are shooting the ball so poorly. Is it just a really bad slump? Like there's guys like Pritchard and Derek White who are like legitimately and qualified shooters, the bottom 2 in 3-pointers made. It's ugly. It's ugly. Nobody can hit besides Jaylen Brown. Is this indicative of the talent? Is this a real problem, or is this just a slump, or is it a little bit of both?
I think it's a 2-part problem. I think you have a little bit of a slump, but also like the quality of shots that they're getting is not the same as what they're used to.
Yeah,
like Derek White's used to getting that ball on a swing pass. with a little bit of space to shoot it. Pritchard's used to somebody hitting him in the corner after a drive for a shot. Like, you're not going to get that quality. Your shot quality is not going to be that great this year because you don't have that creator, like we were just talking about with Jalen being your number one.
Yep.
But when you try to force those shots off the dribble like that to try and get in your groove, it's just making it worse. Like, you're throwing up prayers at that point, and you're killing your confidence because those aren't going in either. So they need to find a way to get guys coming off of screens, get guys playing off the ball, something like that to get these guys a couple of easy looks in the beginning of games so that they can get going, so that those pull-up threes feel a little bit better coming off their hand,
Yeah. I mean, you just got to think, like, last year they were like coming in, like their role was to be like, they're not as game planned as the top 4 players are. So they're kind of like the people that aren't game planned as for can hopefully catch fire and kind of like on our little run for the Celtics. But now it's like they're a priority on defense, and like they have some of the best defenders on them. It's just, it's a way different season. They just got to, like Jalen, like hopefully he gets better, kind of more focused on playmaking. Hopefully these guys kind of adjust as well. It's still early, so hopefully everyone kind of gets more comfortable.
We're a full week of Jaylen Brown basketball missing due to injury away from being bottom of the East. Like, if he misses an extended amount of time, we're in severe trouble, just because the shots aren't falling and he's the only one. I know the ball handling's been an issue and it needs to be better for the team to be better, but his scoring, is so imperative still. Yeah, I mean, we're a little bit, we're so high and low. We're either really good at something or one of the worst. It's real indicative of like a bipolar team on a night-to-night basis. So
it could be on a quarter-to-quarter basis too. I mean, look at that Wizards game. I mean, what'd you give up? 37 points in the first quarter, and then the next quarter you go and you blow them out by 20-something in the next quarter. Like,
I think we were like 0 for 11 from 3 in the first quarter or something. It was something crazy.
Watching it. I was like, this is brutal. This is not a good game. There's nobody on either team right now that I want to watch play basketball.
No, it's brutal.
I'll go back and watch that one again.
The terrible spacing it's just a huge flaw. It's Jason Tatum would have absolutely alleviated that concern a lot more, but just by being so heliocentric and drawing doubles, creating cleaner looks. But is Derek White, has his performance as a number 2 his lack of production, has it led you to think that he's tradable? Because I'm starting to wane on Derek White as a, I don't know if I can win with that guy as a reliable third option without, having a ton of support behind him when Tatum comes back.
I think when Tatum comes back, I think that he still fits so perfectly.
I mean, his defense is fantastic.
And let's not forget that one of their favorite plays to run on the championship year was a Derek White, Jason Tatum pick and roll. Like, with either one of them being the ball handler or either one of them setting the screen, like, teams didn't know what to do with it. Because you can't put a big on Derek White because he's going to get by him. So you can't switch it. You can't put a small guy on Tatum. You can't pre-switch it because if you put a smaller guy on Derek White, then now you got a small guy on Tatum. So that was one of their most effective plays. And pushing him back to the third option on a team is like a perfect spot, I think. I mean, I like him as a number 2 as well, but I don't love him as a number 2. I think that like this year is going to be a lot for his growth, but as a number 3 behind Tatum and Brown, like I think that he fits just so perfectly on this team.
In 32 minutes, he's scoring 14 points a game on 32% from the field and 27% from 3.
Yeah, it's been a really rough start bumping him up.
It's hard to watch.
But like we said, like the spacing is shit on this team. And like, when your best offensive player is averaging 4 assists and 4 turnovers, like you're not really going to get great shots as the number 2.
Yeah.
If you got Tatum, those shots are a lot easier.
I'd like to give him like a quarter of the season at least too. It's the sample size. He might just be having a slump to start. Who knows? We'll give him that at least. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it develops.
Yeah, and I'm not above because I know all these guys can shoot. I know Derek White can shoot, and I know Pritchard can shoot the ball. Anthony Simons, they've all for their entire careers been plus shooters from distance. So I have a feeling it's probably a slump, but I'm also noticing, like we said, the lack of space, the lack of clean looks, and yeah, obviously once Tatum comes back, he might not be coming back this year, so it might be a real tough season if he's not there, especially if we lose games at the clip we're doing. But if he comes back, I still want him on the team. His defense is still huge. Where would you like to see this? Like, how do we improve? How do we improve in the short term? What do we do? Because 4 and 5 is not cutting it.
I mean, consistency is the overarching theme I think that they can improve on. Just be consistent at one thing, because like you look at some quarters, you give up 37 in the first quarter to Washington. Like that's just terrible defense. You can't do. Nobody on Washington should be lighting you up like that.
No,
Like, but then you look at the rest of the game and they're unbelievable defensively, and they're just shutting them down. They can't do anything. And you look at like the Jazz game, you get a big lead on them, and then all of a sudden you just go cold. Then you can't hit water falling out of a boat. So there's no consistency on the offensive end. Like you need
should we consider switching away from it? Like,
no, this team does not have enough talent to not be shooting threes. Like
we're not getting to the line at all.
We don't have a low post presence to throw the ball to. We don't have a vertical spacer. Like Kate is all right as a vertical spacer, but he's not DeAndre Jordan rolling down the lane. Like teams are gonna like live with whatever happens when they throw the ball up to him. So your best bet is really to shoot the threes, and we're not even that. I think we're shooting less threes this year than we really did last year. So like we are number one in the league, but still less than last year.
We're number one with the bullet too. We're shooting like I think 40 more threes than the next team. So it's we're not getting to the line. We're second to last in free throw attempts. That I think it's like you said, Steve. Besides Jaylen Brown, there's nobody on the interior that can score really reliably. Besides maybe Pritchard when he has space, but he's so that's hard to come by. It's a breakdown in offense if that occurs.
Yeah.
Anthony Simons has been mediocre from anywhere outside of the three. Even then, he's been hit or miss. Derek White's been an absolute zilch on offense, interior and exterior. And Nemi is not an offensive threat besides rim runs and putbacks. And he's been our second, he's our best big. And it's not close. We don't even have a backup big, who's worth the shit. Like Luka Garza is really trying out there. I see him hustling. He's only getting 13 minutes a game, and he's scoring. I have his stats. I think he's 5 points and 3 boards and an assist per game. That's ugly ball.
We definitely need to add size. That's for sure. Size will help us in almost in all areas, honestly.
Amen, brother. Tell my girlfriend. Shoot your nose. But yeah, what do we do for bigs? I think we have to get him some help. There's just no way. If he goes down, we're screwed.
Nothing.
We're screwed. Amari Williams hasn't played at all. He played 2 games, and the other guys like X-Man, and they're only getting 8 minutes maybe at a clip on and off. It's not.
And X-Man's
there's no way.
Yeah,
X-Man. There's no way Nemi is gonna get through 82.
I'm looking at X-Man's stats right now. It's 8.5 minutes a game, about shooting 50% from the field, which is great, but he's only taking 3 shots. So he's only averaging about a fucking rebound. Well, 2.5 rebounds and 3 points a game. Like, that's not going to do it. Like, I know defensively he's pretty good, but I mean, I don't understand why they're not. I mean, I get it because Joe wants people out there that he trusts, but you got to start throwing some of these other guys out there to get Nemi some breaks. Like, a lot of the fouls that Nemi's collecting are just him being tired, just out of position, trying to do something because he's the only interior defender. Like, you got to get this guy out some minutes somewhere.
And he's doing it. I mean, I don't want to sound so down on him. I think Nemi has done an excellent job in his role.
Nemi's been unbelievable this year. Like, the jump he's taken is unbelievable.
And you want to talk about consistency. He's arguably been the second most consistent player on our team just for what his role is. Defending the rim and crashing the board. He's leading the team with, I think, 8 or 9 boards. He's scoring almost 10 a game. Like, he's doing a pretty good job, but obviously he's capped skill-wise at what he can do. He's never going to be a guy who can stretch or score at will like Kristaps. At best, he's the Luke Cornett.
Which
Or,
I'd be
you know.
taking shit with a Luke Cornett on this team. Like after
Yeah, I
the whole
know, dude.
year.
We still have
Absolutely.
Luke. Oh, that'd solve a lot.
I mean, like,
So,
think about
yeah,
it this way. I mean, Nemanja went from like a 4th-string center last year to a starter playing like, how many minutes? You say 28 minutes a game, something like that.
I think he's getting like 30.
Like that's crazy to just throw a guy into the fire like that and have him be so consistent.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that the Celtics just have to figure out if they're going to tank or not, because we do have spots to add people. But if we're not looking to win this year, then obviously don't. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
We're so halfway between tanking and like not
yeah,
tanking.
it's tough.
But that's the worst place to be.
This is the Hawks every year. No, the Bulls. The Bulls every year. 41.
It was
41.
the Bulls, yeah.
Every year they're like 41-41, and they get like the fucking 18th pick in the draft, and they can't do really shit with that.
Hey,
yeah, it's always like the Kings too nowadays. But like, you know, the Kings had that one year. Maybe this is the Bulls 1 year to be like 3rd, but then forget all about that.
So I went on the trade machine and I tried to get our guys some help. And my first trade, which is a splash, is for a team that, I mean, you could still tank with this player because Lord knows the team he's on is currently doing it, and he's still playing pretty well. But I traded Anthony Simons, a 2nd-round pick, 2 second-round picks, and a 1st-round pick in 27 for Nick Claxton. This is a guy who just signed a 4-year, $100 million deal. I think he's 26, 27. He's a guy you can build with the future. You know, when Tatum comes back for next season, you have him under control. You know, I don't know what the Nets are going to do with Anthony Simons, but I don't think there's much of any plan going on there. So you tantalize them with a young but elder statesman guard in that role, and the picks obviously for a guy who's not going to. They're not. I mean, they won 1 game. I think it's going to be hard for them to win 10 games. What do we think? Nick Claxton for Anthony Simons.
I like that idea because, I mean, like you said, Simons is streaky, and I think he'll be streaky. That's kind of just who he's been as a player. So I definitely don't, especially on this team right now, I think Claxton would serve us better, that's for sure. And like you said, he's on a pretty friendly deal, to be honest.
And Simons isn't expiring, and Claxton's on an affordable deal. Question, do you want Simons back on the team next year with how he's played through 9 games?
I think he'd benefit from Tatum too. So it's hard to tell because our team's just such in a weird spot at the moment. So maybe if we could afford him, but I don't think I would be like sad necessarily with how it started. That's for sure.
What would be your offer to him for, let's say, mid-season contract discussions for next year? What would your fair offer be? Your first offer?
What would yours be? I do like 2-year.
I do like a 1+1 and 20 mil. You know, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 8 to 10, honestly, a year. What about you, Steve? What do you think?
No, 20 million a year. I don't think he's going.
Oh, really? I mean, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, if we were to make other moves, I just don't know if we'd want to spend that much on him for a champion. I don't know. It's tough.
I think his actual value is more what you're saying. I think his value is like he's maybe a really solid 7th or 8th guy off your bench.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe best case scenario, he's a 6th man if he can be consistent, which he hasn't shown, Steve, to your point. But I don't think he'll go for less than 20. What did Cam Thomas just get? Like, who would you rather have, him or Cam Thomas? Honestly, I'd probably want neither.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cam's having a rough year, but also the Nets are like what we're saying about our team. Oh my god, the Nets are like Cam's definitely having a harder situation. So it's hard to judge him, but it's been tough so far, that's for sure.
Steve, you're awfully quiet.
I think he's probably gonna get at least $15 million a year. I think that teams might even pay him 20 because the salary's only going up anyway, so it depends on what team wants him. I mean, it's hard to judge him on this year, like Jacob was saying earlier. Like we're only 9-10 games into the year, and he's in a brand new system. This is the first time he's ever come off the bench in his NBA career. He's always started. So it's, I mean, everything comes back to the same point. Like your best player is not a facilitator. So it's, hey, Anthony Simons, like go in, try and get it out of the mud, like figure out, like get the ball with 8 seconds
he should
left.
be a facilitator,
figure
right?
out. Yeah, but I mean that's not his job on this team right now because he's probably still trying to learn the plays and everything like that. And so then Joe doesn't really seem to run a lot of plays for anybody not named fucking Jaylen Brown. So it's I'd have to see him for a full season whether I want him back again next year. I think like back to
are you willing to risk that?
I mean, I'd keep him for the year. I mean, I think he's a free agent next year, anyways.
He's on an expiring deal. You have him for this year, but
like you're saying, at best he's a 6th man, 7th, 8th man. Like, do you think that a team is going to want to give up a lot for a guy like that? Like you just said, you try to get Nick Claxton for him. Like Nick Claxton's like a bona fide starter in this league, and you want to get a 7th or an 8th man.
He's a starter on the worst team with a bullet in the league.
Well, I think that he could be a starter on like a championship caliber team if you build it correctly around him. Yeah. That's good.
I don't know about that.
His defense, I think, is just so versatile. Like he's like
another guy who can't shoot.
Like, yeah, but there's a lot of guys in the league that can't shoot that still you can put him in there. Like DeAndre Jordan was a staple in this league on championship contenders.
It's a different league, dude.
Hartenstein
can't shoot. He just won a title.
Steven Adams.
Like you can make it work with these guys if you put the right skill set around them. And I think that Claxton and Tatum on the floor at the same time. I think that defensively, like you have 2 guys that can switch 1 through 5. Like what are you gonna do with that? I like that trade, but I just don't know if the Nets would go for it. We already have like 25 ball handlers on this team. We have 1 actual center. Like I don't know if we want to give that up.
Well, I mean, you'd have to do it because that's the only salaries that match. But yeah, obviously that's pie in the sky shit. I would love to have Nick Claxton for everything you said. You have to in reality, you have to make it work, especially with the apron stuff. And it's the only way you could, despite moving one of the main people you want here, like JB or JT, Another trade I did propose, a lot more realistic specifically for this season. And one that I probably send it in tomorrow just because the need at the position is so desperate. The Grizzlies, get them on the horn. Their season's right down the shitter immediately. What? You don't even know what I'm saying. Jock Landale. Okay, you get Jock Landale, and you trade Baylor Shireman in 2 seconds. Jock Landale's sneaky balling out for like what his role is on a veteran minimum, and Zach Edey's coming back. Get a cheap asset.
Thoughts? I thought that you were going to say another name started with a J over in the Grizzlies.
No, I need somebody that rebounds. Oh well. Or somebody that plays.
That won't get us in trouble.
Yeah,
I want nobody. I want nobody whose name starts with J-A. I'd rather J-O. I'd rather the J-O from the Grizzlies than a J-A. But yeah.
I mean, I don't hate that. It's another big that we could use. You said you're going to give up Shireman. I don't know. Do they want Shireman though?
I mean,
also it's like, what are the Grizzlies doing? Like, are they going to tank this year? I think they probably should. They don't really have anybody on that team. You don't have Bane anymore. Ja doesn't play. Edey's hurt half the time.
Well,
you can't really build around Edey anyways. I don't think that he was part of that Alex Sarr draft that we're talking about before we started recording. Like it's a tough.
He's a good player.
He's a good player. I'm not saying he's a bad player at all, but he's not a player that you can build around, though.
Like, top 100 according to NBA.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for what he does, he's pretty goddamn proficient at it.
Well, yeah, he's really good at it. I'm saying he can't be like your number one. Like you can't.
Well,
When I'm talking about
Yeah.
building around, I'm talking about like your Jason Tatum's, your Kevin Durant's, your Jokic's, like your number one option every time down the floor. Everything goes through you. Like you can't do that with Edie.
I mean, I don't think the Grizzlies are. I
I think
think the Grizzlies are in probably the worst shape out of any team right now, besides maybe the Pelicans. The Pelicans are in pretty tough, dire straits here, but they always have the ability to move off Zion, who's a better asset, not a great asset, but a better asset than Ja Morant. And there's been a lot of drama down in Memphis. Clearly, Ja
I
is
think
not
Pelicans
happy.
might be in just as bad shape as the Grizzlies after trading their first overall pick next year. That was unprotected. Like that's pretty.
What it's bad, but you can always move off Zion. That's the hit eject button. That's the break glass in case of emergency. And Zion is just straight up a better asset than Ja Morant is at this point. Not by much, but he is. Yeah. So the coach, Yasello, whatever, he came from Europe. He said he's bringing a different type of attitude to the locker room where they're addressing stuff. Instead of I guess what was happening with Taylor Jenkins, where it was all quiet, discomfort. But Ja's not happy. He said he's miserable, or when he was asked if he's happy playing basketball, I think he said no. Clearly beefing with the coaches, showing a lack of effort out there to in recent games, being asked about it. He said, ask the coaches. There's clearly a big divide between upper management and the star. And Ja, he's 20. Like, do we think he's gonna? Does he, come back into the fold, or is he done in Memphis?
I think he's done in Memphis, and I think he has potential to be a great NBA player still. But I think he's done it at Memphis. That's for sure. Just based on everything, it's just they need to be done with him at least. If they've, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like that, they need to trade him right now. This season, at least, I think, to get as big, because I think it'll be even worse of a return and going forward after that. So I think they should get off of him and just restart and jock and get a new environment. That's my opinion.
I mean, this guy is just, it's hard. I see it from all sides. Obviously that you don't want to get rid of a star like Ja, who when he's healthy is, well, I'm not too high on the asset. I'm just not too high on the asset as a number one. I think we've talked about it. I think he's maybe like a number two on the championship team. He just can't be your winning cornerstone guy. And definitely not when he's missing half the games he's supposed to have played in 7 seasons. Like, he just doesn't play basketball. He got suspended by the team already this year for, his post-game comments. But yeah, even when he's on, it's just not great. He's career low, 30 minutes per game, shooting 38% from the field and 14% from three. He can't shoot from distance. Team's not very good. It's real rough sledding 10 games in. And I don't know what he's truly frustrated with. He should be frustrated with his own performance. I mean, the double down on Jaren Jackson, I guess, wasn't the right move. I don't know. What was the misstep here by the Grizzlies?
I mean, the org didn't do much to make the team better in the offseason. He could be offended by that, I'd say. The team is pretty rough around him. So maybe he's upset at that. They kind of let Bane go and didn't bring much else in. So maybe he's mad at that, but otherwise, yeah, it should be his own performance.
They have no wings. That's a huge complaint.
They didn't do anything.
The worst wing forward duo in like the league. But they, I guess organizationally, it was a smart move to get off of Bane.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard. And the guy is, he should be upset with his own performance. He's halfway through a 5-year deal, so he's still on the books. 26, a lot of potential. I think, I think he's probably done Memphis maybe not even halfway through the year. We'll see. But where would you like to see him go? Where's a good spot for Ja Morant to go?
Pelicans.
What's realistic?
Pelicans.
Let's just fucking have him and Zion, and Ja will play a game, then Zion will play a game, and then Ja will
We've
play
already talked. They don't have any assets to trade other than Zion. They don't have their picks.
I think that would be the funniest place to put him.
They'd have to trade players that are actually really good, but should be your franchise role players like Trey Murphy and stuff, which is not great. Ivan Fears, I imagine, would have to go.
Send him to the Knicks. I want to see his dad sit next to Spike Lee yelling at him the whole game.
I don't know why the Knicks would do that. Be realistic. Give me a realistic trade partner for these Memphis Grizzlies.
Dude, who the fuck? Like you said,
Rockets.
who wants Ja Morant right now? Like,
Hold on, that's a interesting point, Jacob. Elaborate.
Rockets, yeah. They need a guard. And they have shooting. They have one of the best shooters of all time. I'd be scared of what they'd have to give up though, because I wouldn't want them to give up Sengun or Thompson. So, I mean, they do have a plethora of like dudes though, so they could maybe package some stuff together. Maybe like, and Fred has a pretty big contract, so I don't know. Maybe they can make it interesting enough. But that'd be fun. Him on a serious contender if they could keep Thompson, Sengun, and KD too.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
agreed. That would be, I think, the ideal spot where it's like a win-win for everybody. Get Ja out of Memphis because that's obviously not coming back, and get Memphis off the Ja business and send them to a team where that desperately needs a guard.
Yeah, the Rockets have a lot of wings, so like I think maybe they trade Jabari, which would suck, but that would really accelerate their championship window. That's for sure.
Yeah, it would.
Jabari's so fucking good. I was so impressed by him in that Rockets game.
He is really good. I know.
I didn't realize how good he was until I watched that game. I was like, this kid does fucking everything.
But if you can find like a lighter version of what he does, it would be like, even if you like you just need a stopgap for what his role, which is like defense and a tall body that can stretch and shoot.
You got
I think what
too.
Ahmed can't shoot. His shooting's been miserable from distance.
They're hoping that he gets that Jason Kidd treatment where he finally figures out how to shoot late in his career.
Yeah, but they need a ball handler desperately, and a guy.
I didn't realize that Ja was averaging 7 assists a game this year too. Like that's
on a really bad team.
Only 3 turnovers too, with a guy who has the ball in his hands every time down the floor.
Is there any chance they work this out? Or is it just time?
I think it's just time. I think that like it's tough. I think his name's Chris Vernon on Bill Simmons' podcast talking about how much Ja means to the city and like how Memphis is like in a really bad spot and they're rebuilding downtown, and him being there is so helpful to that and like all the stuff he does for the city, which is great. But I just think that his relationship with that organization has soured so much over the years.
He's not doing a great job of like being, lovey-dovey in the clubhouse,
I mean, like he didn't like Jenkins, a lot of backdoor talking about that. Didn't like the way they ran their offense. Now they're running the offense the way that he wants it to be run, and he's still not happy about it. Suspended by the league, suspended by the team multiple times. Like, he's not healthy, doesn't play. I mean, we talk about him like he's like a second or third tier star in the league, but I mean, he's only ever won 1 playoff series since he's been in the league. Like, it's I think you're right. He needs a new place to play, a new scenery around him, new coaches, a fresh start where he can really, as a second or third option, I think that he would be best.
What about like a team like Milwaukee? Ja and Giannis together. How does that work in your mind's eye?
Send Kuzma away.
See ya. I mean, he's a better wing than what you got.
It'd be a tough shooting because at least with the Thunder, you're like, I mean, with the Rockets, you have KD like to kind of help everyone out with that situation, like there's an efficient shooting situation. But Giannis is shooting well this year, I'll say, but we'll see if that keeps up. He is having a disgusting year actually shooting 3. I think it's like almost 40%, or he was above 40. I don't know if he has dipped since, but yeah, no, he's doing well. But yeah, that it'd be tough. It'd be fun, but it'd be a tough pair, I'd say, spacing wise.
Why? Because yeah, true.
Yeah, it's just they're both best skills like driving, and it'd just be it'd be duplicative, I'd say, but they'd be fun as fuck. A lot of post drivers, like that'd be a fun team.
Good luck beating that pick and roll. Jesus.
Well, this is like, I don't want to say that the Bucks can't figure it out, but you also had Damian Lillard and Giannis trying to run a pick and roll together, and they never even did that. So I can't imagine that they're going to figure it out with Ja, who can't shoot. Like it's the easiest pick and roll ever with Giannis and Dame, and they still couldn't figure that one out. I don't. It's to this day it amazes me that they couldn't like make that work. What about?
Well, I mean, his Achilles blew out. It's not,
Well, they played most of the season last year, and they still didn't figure it out.
Wait,
Did he
what?
blow his
When did
Achilles
Lillard
in
pop
the-
his Achilles?
I thought it was in the playoffs last year.
No. No way, Steve.
Maybe I'm getting it twisted. But
He played 58 games last year.
yeah, so in 58 games, you couldn't figure it out between you and Giannis.
I mean, figure it out. He was scoring 25 a game.
Yeah, but that team was bad last year, even with that. Like, let's not act like that team was that good. I don't know why that team could not figure it out. But what about Portland for Ja?
Portland's got such a weird thing going on, but it works.
Yeah, I mean, but like you can get him in there, like trade like Scoot Henderson, like somebody to match salary. Scoot gets a new place to play. Ja
He's barely even played for Portland.
Huh?
He's barely even played for Portland.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's been stuck behind like players his whole career there. I feel like if he goes to Memphis, they don't really have any guards there to take his minutes.
I mean, he's stuck behind Anthony Simons. You couldn't beat out Anthony Simons. It's not.
I mean, Anthony
tough
Simons
assignment.
He's something a game last year. I mean, I wouldn't start to Scoot over him either. He was playing great last year.
Scoot has played. I want to look up how many games he's played.
He has not played a lot of games, but I mean, if Memphis wants to tank, then they're going to start him at that point, and then you can actually see what he is.
Maybe the Suns could trade one of their shooting guards for a point guard. They could trade Jalen Green, maybe.
I just like on the Trailblazers playing like with Drew.
That'd be a good pair. It'd help him out definitely with defense, that's for sure.
Help him out off the court thing a little bit too. I mean, Drew's like can't be a professional in the league than Drew.
I mean, if you're Memphis, how do you walk away with anything from that trade other than Denny Avia? Like that's the number one thing you got to ask for.
No, yeah, you get Scoot, Denny, and like
scoring wing. I don't know if I do that if I'm Portland.
I mean, Portland, they don't think that they're going to win right now, I don't think. I mean, although Thiago Splitter, I don't think has lost a game as the new coach since they...
I was going to say. They're fucking... I mean, like... They're in 6th place. They're 5-3 in the West. If you had that on your bingo card,
Did you know that they've beaten the Warriors, the Thunder, the Nuggets, and the Knicks, I think? I think that's 4 of the 5 wins. Like they're beating the best teams in the league. It's weird. And they're not.
They're like the hardest team.
Roster and you're like, that team should not beat fucking like anybody, but they're just doing it.
They got dudes.
They're the most like we're a bad team, but we're not going to be easy to put away team.
Great defensive team. I mean, you got Tumani Kamara. You got
I think they're leading the league in steals.
Who's the center over there? Don't they have a really good defensive center too?
I mean, they have a bunch. Robert. They have Klinger and Rob.
The Irons just sitting down there. Like, I think that'd be a perfect spot for Ja. He can infuse some offense into that team, and that team's already elite defensively.
Keep them out of Portland doesn't seem like it's a raucous city.
It's definitely not
quite a Memphis.
And there's a whole parts of Oregon that you can't go to if you're not the right skin color because it's a huge fucking. It's
probably places like that in Kentucky too, though, or Tennessee.
Probably. You gotta assume.
I mean,
but you could stay in Memphis and party your ass off too, though, because it's
you can get in a lot of trouble there. I don't think you can get into a lot of trouble in Portland, but if you step outside, maybe
Yeah. So I think I like Portland. I don't know, just off the top of my head.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a Memphis. There's no urgency. This guy's locked up. The only thing he's going to hurt is.
He's going to hurt his trade stock. That's the urgency that Jacob was talking about earlier. It's like, hey,
he's already hurt. Can he hurt it? I mean, obviously he can, but like
he's fucking pouting in the fucking corner and throwing fits after the game and getting suspended by his team. It's not going to fucking help.
I also don't think if you're Portland, you want to introduce that guy into your locker room right now. The vibes are so good for them, despite losing their coach the first crack of the fucking starting whistle.
It can help them.
Scandalous thing. Definitely, yeah. Especially if he was, potentially tanking.
Yeah, they were saying that his like subs last year would like were like mystifying, like that they didn't make sense. So it's if they have that out of there, like someone gaming the system against them, I think that's definitely awesome. And it's also just fun to have Thiago Splitter, who's just a Spurs guy, just kind of appear out of nowhere as a good head coach. It's awesome.
Well, I mean, I liked Chauncey Billups, Celtic, obviously. So I was rooting for him, weirdly enough, but bad, I guess a bad investment as a head coach. Great
He's a
player.
mobster, I guess. After
Yeah,
all,
he's fucking mobbed up. Before we, so that's Ja. I mean, that's Ja in a fucking.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's not. It's fun to talk about. It's
Fun
probably
for
not
us.
fun to be a Grizzlies fan. Yeah.
Before we get off trades too, I want to get Cockbrenner. I've been watching that fool. He's add him to my fantasy team. He's second in blocks and he's first in field goal percentage in the league. He's just such an efficient demon. I hope the Hornets
he's
are
a
just
rookie,
done.
right?
Yeah, and I hope
There's
the
no
Hornets.
way.
Yeah, I know it's tough, but he's basically looking like Walker Kessler, who just got injured, which really stinks. But this is like Walker Kessler before he exploded. I feel like this kid's got that.
I mean, obviously, a guy of that talent already, but this just, that's a guy for the Hornets' future. I don't know what that future's going to look like.
Yeah.
It's probably a LaMelo-less future. I just don't think that experiment has worked. It just hasn't worked for them. But there's talent on that roster. You still got Brandon Miller.
The thing that's fucked about LaMelo though, I think he's only like 24.
26.
He's like the young. No, he's younger than Ja. Like Ja's 26.
No, right. It was 24, and then Zion's 25, and Ja's 26. Because Ja was 2 years in. Where did he go to school?
Murray,
that's what it was. I knew it was an M one. I was thinking Marquette.
Yeah. He just turned 24 too.
Yeah, he's a baby. Like
we never know. If he just gets healthy, we never know.
And he seems to be taking this year seriously from everything I've seen, like diving on the floor, like actually playing defense, like not taking too many crazy shots. Like he's LaMelo, so he's gonna take some crazy shots, but
night on
crazy. 8 boards too is crazy.
Dude,
Josh Giddey is getting filleted.
Fuck Josh Giddey
legally, but he is in the NBA media, and LaMelo's just doing this as well, and nobody's really talking about it because it's not winning. Right.
That's what it all comes down to. Like if you do on a losing organization, nobody's gonna talk about it. I mean, look at Boogie Cousins' numbers back in Sacramento. They were crazy, but nobody ever talked about him because that team was just run so poorly. They're talking about playing fucking 4-on-5.
What do you mean was?
Yeah, I guess it's still the same owner.
There's no was about it.
Crazy. At least they're spending money now. When Boogie was there, they're like, "Oh, hey, we got you like year 12 Rajon Rondo and year 14 Rudy Gay to help you out and try and win a championship." Yeah. Hey, we had the 4th overall pick. We picked up another center to help you. Yeah.
We drafted a guy, Papagiannis, whatever his name is, who played like 2 games, and he was like 6th overall. Georgios Papagiannis or whatever the hell his name is.
Really fire the coach you like too.
There too. Like that was fucking bad.
And then they spend money now, but they just spend money to spend it, I guess. Like I don't know what the fuck the vision is with. I mean, Sabonis getting rid of Fox, and that's probably not the guy I would have got rid of on the team.
No, the guy I wouldn't have gotten rid of would have been fucking Tyrese Halliburton.
But you want to talk about for sure. But you want to talk about fucking goofy. The Kings just basically are the Bulls from 2 years ago. Like all they have to do, and they'll probably do this at the deadline, is make a fucking splash trade for Vucevic and just bring back the Bulls
for fucking Nikola Vucevic straight up.
DeMar DeRozan, fucking goddamn, it's just the Bulls again. Levine, it's fucking gross. But speaking of Memphis, just a quick look ahead for the Celtics. We play Orlando twice. We go on the road to Orlando. That's this weekend. Then we got the Sixers in Philly, and then we're back home against the Memphis Grizzlies. So what are we thinking for this next spread of games? Orlando in a tough spot. I mean,
Orlando's offense has been fucking brutal.
You're playing 2 teams who are like the lowest in terms of vibes right now.
Yeah.
And then you got the Sixers who are the highest.
Compared to last time, I like this slate. That's for sure. This looks like a very way. I mean, who knows? Maybe the Magic wake up against us, but compared to the last stretch of games, I like this look. This look more.
It's weird. The last 2 years, it was like, I think it was last year we played the Bucks like 3 times in the first like month and a half, 2 months of the season. Then we didn't play them again until like fucking February or March, and the season was like over. Then with the Sixers, like the year before that, we did the same fucking thing, and now this year we're playing the Sixers for the 3rd time. We only play them one more time for the rest of the year. It's like,
and you're catching him at a bad time to catch him because Maxi's playing so well. Like he's still getting, he's liable to get 40 on any given night.
I feel like they
incredible.
They definitely line us up with the Sixers like this on purpose to see if Embiid will be healthy, so you can get your primetime games like with Tatum and Embiid and like all of them playing against each other like the last couple of years. I feel like they try to get that done before Embiid gets like halfway through the season and starts like load managing or gets hurt. Doesn't make sense, obviously, because there's no Tatum. But
I was gonna say I don't know when the schedule is made for the next season.
I think they make it the year before. So they might have thought Tatum was going to be there because they definitely made it before the playoffs last year. So
either way,
thinking again, like, hey, we have a primetime matchup between the Celtics and the Sixers. Let's make sure they're both healthy. I mean, the first game of the NBA Cup was Celtics Sixers. So
I think it's even though they probably made it with Tatum in mind, thinking this was going to be a clash of Eastern Conference favorites, 2 years ago, a year ago, whenever they made it. It's still a very interesting game. Both the first 2 are definitely the first 3 are very interesting games. It's really good test games for both teams. Really good test teams. And we're on test games. We're on the wrong side of that. We're going to see like, can the Celtics actually compete with 2 Eastern Conference contenders? Not real title contenders, but Eastern Conference contenders. Like we get to test to see if the Magic are really this broken twice, because they should probably kick our ass twice. We're in their home court.
Terrified for fucking defensively against the Magic. For the Magic playing defense against us, I should say. Like they're offense.
Actually not playing that great a defense.
Their defense has been down since last year, because last year, if they played the same defense that they played in the playoffs against us last year, like I don't think we'd score 50 points.
But it hasn't been there all year, and that defense has just not shown up yet. Because I mean, is it worse than last year? Of course, they were like the number 1 defense with a bullet last year. They're 14th in defensive rating to start, and that coupled with their offensive rating, which is their 23rd. That's really bad ball. It's miserable to watch, and I don't know what their fix is. Bane has been an abject failure in his time, and not getting suspended for stupid texts, throwing the ball off guys' heads and shooting. The price they paid for this guy to revitalize their offense is not only financially like brutal, because they re-upped them the minute they traded for him, but what they mortgaged for the trade. He had 4 first-round picks, Cole Anthony and KCP, the players or whatever. The 4 first-round picks for Desmond Bane to come in and shoot 23% on threes is, that's not to mention they gave him a 4-year extension for 100-something million, 200 million or whatever. It's just, it's been a complete failure, and he's going to have to do some serious digging to get that team right. And it's on him for the price they paid. Paulo Macaro, he's in the vision, he's in the sights of the media because he's inefficient, but he's only a 3-year player, 4-year player, whatever. And,
Yeah, and this has always been a thing too with him. And Bane was supposed to plug that hole. Like it's not like Paulo is too efficient last year. Like he needs to just work on that in general. But this is why Bane came in. He was supposed to be an efficient scoring wing for them who can ride the tide of injuries like he did in Memphis, basically. But now it's not starting out that way. Like you're saying, he definitely needs to turn around very quickly. I have faith in him. Like we're saying, like with his attitude stuff has sucked. That's a little bit different than the Celtics. But like we're saying with the Celtics, you got to give it people in a completely different environment. You gotta give him a little bit of a leash. But yeah, it's definitely been as bad as possible.
I mean, it's ugly. The coach looks like dejected. You got guys who are key players like getting thrown out of games. He got the first tech for throwing the ball off the guy's head, and then he got the second tech for bitching about it after. Like, just foolish. That's where your coach needs to, like, a good coach needs to jump in there and be like, shut, like, Desmond, stop. You know, and it's a game where they're playing the Hawks, right? It was against the Hawks.
Yeah.
A team that you're like legitimately head to head against in the East. Preseason, it's been like, who's the best riser? Them, the Pistons, or the Hawks? And they're like, the Hawks are off to a middling start, and Trae Young didn't even play that game.
He's
but
done too.
They looked leagues better than the Magic, who are at full health. It's bad. It's really bad in Orlando, and something we're bordering on like folded up for the year with the coach. Like the minute you fire a coach, it's like, all right, we're real. You know, it's going to be a struggle night to night. So having said that, I don't know if the Celtics team's beaten the Magic twice. Like I just don't think that's going to happen because there's such a talent disparity. And
I could see 1-1. Yeah,
really bad matchup.
Yeah, we could split it. I could totally see that.
But if you can take advantage of that bad defense or that middling defense.
They have middling defense and they have a really bad offense, so you can definitely take advantage of it.
I know they're playing so bad, but like Cody's saying, you look at the roster, and you're like, obviously they should beat us because 1 through 8 is crazy. But yeah, just like with how they're performing, we should win definitely both games.
a dual wing combo that should shred us, huh?
So we beat the Cavs this year. If you look at their lineup without Garland, that's way better than the Magic.
Celtics played particularly well that game, but it's also a test game for the Guardians. I call them the Cavs. Be like, hey, you know, you've been an embarrassment in the playoffs. Your team is stacked. You know, you should destroy this team without their star, and they didn't do it. So maybe it was like you're holding the diamond tester up to the Cavs game. You know, you show their flaws because there's no excuse. You're right, Steve. There's no excuse for the Cavs to lose that game, but we did play particularly well. And maybe the Cavs are frauds, as we know as we've seen throughout history.
They've given us no reason not to hold the diamond tester up early because they've given us no reason to believe in them in the postseasons. Maybe this slightly different iteration. I don't even know. Nothing's really that different. We'll see. Another year of Mobley and some different role players, but yeah, they're on fraud watch. That's for sure.
At least the Cavs have the excuse of not having Garland, who is an all-star. And so that's, they might be frauds. Who knows? They probably are, but they at least have that excuse. The Magic don't have that. This is just not working right now. Doesn't mean it won't work. Doesn't mean they can't turn it around. There's a lot of young talent. Maybe it's a severe slump like how we're going through it. But, Mosley's seat is it's never been hotter. And he was Coach of the Year favorite, I think, to start the year.
One of them.
Tough stuff. So having said that, what do you got? Make a choice of the next few games. Celtics finish what through 4 games?
We have the Magic twice, the Sixers, and the
all on the road, and then you got Memphis at home.
3-1.
Okay, Jacob.
Go 2-2. We're just gonna play 500 ball for a bit of feel.
Yeah, I think 2-2 is a huge win, actually. Well, maybe not a huge win, but a win in this stretch. I mean, 2 teams in the East that are just better than you. They're just better than you. And then Memphis, who we just talked about, the vibes are so low, you should destroy that team. Having said that, 0-4 coming up.
Hey, as long as we win the NBA Cup, I'm cool with it.
For that bread.
And that's the thing. It's so hard. It's been so hard for me, at least as a Celtics fan, to ratchet down my expectations. I know Tatum's not here, and I know the trades and the offseason, the lack of talent. It's just so hard to look at this team and see those guys like JB, Derek White, and Missoula out there who they can win, have won, and want to win. And they just, the team is not good. And it's been so hard without Tatum there, especially with Tatum there, to like ratchet my expectations back down to what this team is, which is just not a good team. Just Jaylen Brown and not a good team. And so you're lucky to win on a night-to-night basis. And it sucks. It's such a negative take, but it's just, I think, the truth. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Am I wrong, guys?
No, we're expecting like players, like not you're. Like you're noting the top guys, but then you got to think about the role player, the players that are those were former role players, not Jalen, but other players that are now starting. Now you got to think about our bench, like you're talking about earlier. You got to rely on them to be like consistent, which is tough. Which is what you're like night to night. You just don't know what to expect from 5 through 8 at all. That's for sure.
Yeah, like I think I'm confident to be like Derek White will figure it out, just because I believe in the talent and the mindset. I know the mindset of that player. I've seen it. He's willing to fucking go to the floor for this team. I strongly believe. I'll be shocked if he doesn't pull it out of the dirt. But like, can Nimi Keita keep this up? I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know. I don't know if I can trust the talent enough. And then like you have obviously you go down the list of bench players like Minot, who's really stuck out this year just for his effort-based plays. There's potential there as a player. I just, nobody's seen it besides the first 2 weeks of the season. So I don't know if I can buy into the talent yet.
Hugo's been a nice highlight. Same as Minot in a way, where it's just like guys that it's in a sad year, just people that you just get subbed in and fucking go balls to the wall. You're like, they're not tanking. I love that guy. You love to see that.
Definitely. I get very excited to see guys like Jordan Walsh, Hugo, and Minot out there playing. Like I get, because they're high energy and they're playing for their spots on the team next year. And it's noticeably where it's Anthony Simons, where he knows he's going to be on a team next year. Just he might not be here. He doesn't. It's kind of hard to like just buy into a guy like Simons and Garza. These guys who've been around, who just kind of not stuck anywhere. And don't play with a ton of high energy. They just play their game. Although Garza does play with high energy, it's just not very good basketball.
Hey, he in like I sent his dad is a lifelong Celtics. Well, his family is lifelong Celtics fans, so we got that too. He was wearing Celtics gear like through his whole childhood, so you can root for him that way.
Why does he run like the way he does? He runs like he's running through mud.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
It's weird.
It's max effort, but he's going 2 miles an hour. It's fucking nuts. Like. But then he'll go and make a good play on the boards. It's like, okay, well, I don't know why that's not you're not so fluid when you're on. I don't know.
Yeah,
Steve, you're awfully quiet. Oh, absolutely, we need him.
Yeah, we could definitely use another big. That'd be huge. I mean, you see the Celtics jersey, your expectations are always going to be pretty high. You've seen what this team has done over the years. We haven't missed the playoffs since before Marcus Smart was drafted here. Like, it's been a long time. So we have high expectations here. What do we go to 7 Eastern Conference Finals, 8 Eastern Conference Finals in the last like 10 or 12 years? Like,
I mean, the past decade, I think we've been the most consistent team in the league.
That's all we were looking for here, is just consistency. And it's tough because a lot of these guys are being thrown into positions where they shouldn't be in. Like, let's be real here. Nimi shouldn't be playing 30 minutes a game at this point in his career. Like, he should be playing. I mean, I'd be happy as a pig and shit with 23 minutes a game from him. But he's a backup center level player. Like, Derek White shouldn't be taking 21 shots a game or whatever he's taking. He should probably be about 17, 16. Like, he's getting thrown into the fire with that one. You're asking Jaylen Brown to be your number one facilitator and your number one playmaker for the team. He's never been higher than like the 3rd or 4th playmaker on the team before this year. So it's tough. Like, our expectations are always going to be crazy high for this team, but I do love the effort that they play with on a night-to-night basis. That's the one thing that always brings you back to watch them, is that you don't see this team just curl up and lay down, like, even if they're going up against a better team.
I mean, I don't know. Are we tanking? Do you think we're tanking? Are we what is the stealth tank? What is the goal for the Celtics this year?
The Celtics are built with a fatal flaw to tank, even if it looks like we should win games, and that's our front court. Your lack of rim defense and your lack of rebounding will always kill you in the long run.
So you think the upper office is like, we're tanking this year?
Yeah, I think tanking would be not plugging the holes. Like, if we don't make moves and we just ride it out, that'd be our form of tanking, I think. We don't even have to try that hard.
It would be like, random injuries coming up. Like
Yeah.
the Al Horford last year was the big toe sprain would pop up every third night or whatever because he'd need a night off and he never actually hurt his foot. Like we start seeing those pop up, like Nimi, you know,
Well, if Nemi goes, if
strain.
Nemi doesn't play, we're fucked.
Yeah, hamstring strain. All of a sudden, he's not playing. Jaylen Brown's missing the second night of back-to-backs late in the season. Like that's when you really know we're going to be really tanking. But right now, I think we're competing and seeing what we have. And if it's plugging holes at the trade deadline, and they can find guys to trade for, like Claxton, like you were saying, then yeah. But if you see like Claxton go for like 2 seconds and like a middling player or something like that at the trade deadline, and we didn't make that trade, then you're gonna know we're really tagging.
When do you think we hit the tank button? What point in the season? Like
Trade
how
deadline.
much 500 ball do you think we trade deadline? Wow, okay,
Trade
so
deadline.
a lot of 500 ball.
Like if that's when you're gonna know all the guys that you're playing now, like your Simons, your Jaylen Browns, your Derek Whites that are getting elevated to different roles. And if they haven't figured out how to excel in those roles by that point in the season, then you know, all right, we need to tank. Or if you're playing above expectations at that point, hey, we're going to plug something in here, see how that works, and then
factor in
move
Tatum
forward to come back.
Yeah.
But if you tank, isn't that too late to tank? Directly at the halfway point, you're like there's teams you're just not going to be able to out tank, like the Wizards or the Nets.
No, but the lottery is the odds are all leveled out at that point. So if you're a bottom 5 team in the league, bottom 6 team in the league, you all have the same odds for the lottery. It's not weighted anymore. It's all leveled out.
It's not weighted?
It's not weighted anymore. Anything outside of like the bottom, like I think 6 or 8 teams, I think all have the same amount of percentage of getting the number 1 overall pick. That's how the Mavericks got it last year. Because they were like a bottom 8 team or something like that. They clearly weren't the worst team in the league. I mean, the Nets were fucking playing last year and the Wizards, but like this number 1 overall pick because it's all everybody gets like a 14% chance or something like that.
I mean,
at the halfway point, if you're a 500 team and you've decided that these guys aren't playing above their expectations in those roles, then yeah, you can start tanking the rest of the season. But before that, I feel like you'd be prematurely making that decision.
Pretty fucking bleak. Pretty bleak.
Well, I didn't say that we were going to be. I just said that that's when you would make the decision, one way or the other.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I should probably find another team to watch or root for long term because it probably won't be this one. I mean, obviously, I'll watch every Celtics game because I have to.
It's a good thing we got League Pass.
Oh, that's exactly right. And that's what I want to talk about here. The NBA League Game Pass of the week. Jacob, you hit us with a slew of games. You picked out Saturday the 8th at 8 p.m. You got Bulls at the Cavs, Eastern Conference, top tier Eastern Conference matchup so far. Sunday on the 9th, you have Rockets at the Bucks, and then you got Pistons at the Sixers. And then you got either one of the Celtics Magic games, which are interesting to watch for their own.
They're pretty fugly. They'll be pretty fugly games. Not going to be beautiful games.
Yeah, those are games I'm legally obligated to watch.
Pistons Sixers, I think is very interesting. I feel like that's kind of a prove it game for either of those. Like if the Pistons can prove that their initial like kind of slumpish is not who they are, and then the Sixers can prove if this is who they are, if their start's who they are.
I mean, for all the slumping, they're 6-2 in second place in the East.
No,
the Pistons have been really one of the better teams.
Yeah, you're right. I was more talking about like the start, but since then they've picked it up. That's for sure.
I was going to say, it seems like it's more of a game to test the Sixers against like, hey, this team, I think the Pistons are like bona fide top 3 in the East, probably.
A real physical one too for Embiid.
Especially if Duran and Cade keep playing at this level. They're like, I don't know, that's just a floor that not many teams in the East can match. And Cade is, he's really balling out this year. I think it's a good diamond tester game to see what's going on with the Sixers. Be like, can your guards keep up with? Is out of that matchup, who's the best guard? Is it Cade or is it Maxey or Edgecombe or?
If you're talking about like the start of the year, it has to be Maxey. But like if you're talking about who I'd want to build a team around, it'd be Cade. You know what I mean?
Okay, why?
Just because
Why
he's like
Cade?
huge. He's like huge playmaking, really unique type of guard. Like I think he needs to get better at shooting, but I think he's like more of like somebody you can build around and win a championship type guy than Maxey, who's like kind of tiny and like he's an amazing bucket getter. But yeah, I feel like you're saying it's kind of a diamond tester for him in a way. He's been amazing though. So this year he definitely would has better stats. That's for sure.
I agree with everything you said. Like Cade is the player I'd want to build my franchise around, just because of everything you said. He's bigger. He's possesses more of an ability for two-way play than I think Maxey can, because Maxey's just so slight. And Cade, the shooting, that's the only thing.
He's averaging
efficiency-wise.
9.5 assists a game this year too, which is crazy.
He's hooping.
His turnovers were crazy high at the beginning of the year, but he's got it down to about 3.5 a game. Which, I mean, if you get 9.5 assists, 3.5 turnovers, that's not terrible at all. I mean,
I think with your primary usage guy, 3 turnovers you can live with.
Yeah,
especially on the Pistons team where that team goes as Cade goes. That team is not like Cade's having an off night, we can find a way to win this game. It's like, no, if he's not setting everybody up and having one of those nights, that team is kind of dead in the water.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's their number one with a bullet.
Dude, did you see Duran's last game?
2020, baby.
22 and 22, yeah, insane, dude.
22.
He's hooping. Mine too, dude. Shout out to 22s.
Yeah, well, mine got that extra 2 in front of it. So,
and Duncan's working out so far. 40% from 3. That's from Duncan Robinson. Like that's literally that's why you got him. And he's averaging 11 a game. Maybe like he could shoot a little more, but for what you want, that's what you got him for. To sub in for Malik's position there.
Well, that's the thing. Malik Beasley's just kind of floating out there. I don't know what his status is with this case or all that. He's exonerated if he's coming back. If he's coming back, I think the Pistons should bring him right back in. Like he'd be such a good fit for that team.
I saw him post something where he said he's not even allowed to talk to teams right now. Like,
yeah, I think it's because
his agent can't talk to teams. He can't talk to teams right now until he's finally federally goes through all this stuff. And it's not a great sign that the FBI is still investigating him, because they would have came up with an idea of what's going on by now. Like they wouldn't have just been dragging this on for this long.
Are you sure? You have faith in the government?
There's bigger fish to fry. I mean, you see the Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups one. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, if Beasley can come back, that'd be huge, because Duncan Robinson, thank you, but Malik Beasley's better than you.
Do you know what's crazy too? I was just looking into Isaiah Stewart. I was praising Cock earlier, Cock Renner.
Yeah, you were.
Hashtag Cock blocked. But
who doesn't love Cock?
I love that Twitter account. There's it's like Cock blocked. I just tweet it out every time. But I said he was second he is tied second with Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart has 2.4 blocks a game so far this year. It's just kind of insane. He's not a tall guy too. That's effort. That's just pure effort. I can't wait to see him versus Embiid. That's for sure.
I mean,
he's gonna be one of the meanest motherfuckers in the league.
Let's be real. The second overall in blocks is really the first overall, because the number 1 overall is a fucking alien. That's gonna lead. Like he's just kind of an outlier of everything. It's like when you see somebody sets a record like in a game or something like that, it's like, oh, the first, he's got 35 games where he's got 35, 10 and 5. And then you see like the number 1 overall is like Wilt Chamberlain had like 653 of these before he was 28 years old or something like that. Like
Beef Stew is like
there's numbers that aren't going to be achievable for normal people.
Beef Stew is like 6'10". He's a bit undersized for the position, but he shoots the ball well. He's obviously playing above his position. You can be undersized at that role and get Defensive Player of the Year, a la Draymond Green. So that's fine. Jalen Duren is scraping 7 feet tall. Wemby's 7'7". There's just there's nothing you can do
with a wingspan that's like even larger than he's supposed to have. At 7'7".
And those are 2 of the premier fucking shot blockers in the game. Duren and Beef Stew. I guess Beef Stew, he wasn't, but Duren certainly profiles as that. Wemby just says, is hold my fucking Bordeaux.
He's averaging double their averages. I was praising them. Yeah, Wemby's averaging 5 and they're averaging 2.4. No, he's averaging 4.7, so I rounded up for him. But yeah, he's basically double.
Yeah. What's your game to watch is the Pistons and the Sixers. It's a good game. Steve, what's your one to watch this weekend or this week, upcoming week?
I'm always a big Saturday night guy.
Okay.
Bulls and Cavs, 2 paper tigers. See who's going to come out on top of that one. I mean, I just love a Saturday night game because I can actually stay up and watch it, have a couple of beers, and just enjoy hoops with no. Especially, there's with the roller coaster that we're going through with the Celtics. It's nice to watch a game where it doesn't really make a difference to me either way who wins. Like, just watch good hoops.
So you're gonna enjoy watching Josh Giddey? Wow.
No, I mean,
Crazy.
I'm gonna enjoy watching him get like this shit sent into the 5th row by Evan Mobley, but
I don't think so. Different year, dude.
how do you think that the Cavs are just gonna put Evan Mobley on him the whole game and just say like, hey, somebody else beat us or what?
I would be like, let Vucevic shoot the ball.
Allen on Vucevic, like it's not like you don't have another big to put on him.
There's no reason the Cavs should lose, I don't think.
Well, shit. How many times have we said this about the Cavs in the last 5-6 years?
If
That's
everybody
true.
just does their job and plays, they have Garland back. If everybody just plays well, they should win by 8 points, like a decent NBA victory. But,
I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, the Rockets Bucks rolling right off the Cavs, Giannis versus KD. No, not right off the Cavs, right after the Pats game, Giannis versus KD. That's kind of lit. It's not late either. 3:30 for you, Steve-O.
Yeah, that's also gonna be a really fun game to watch.
I mean, it's just going to be an entire team of tryhards and Kevin Durant beat Giannis.
The ultimate tryhard.
The ultimate tryhard.
Like what a guy that gives effort.
Literally,
dude.
he is in the pantheon of fucking tryhards.
His effort is unmatched. We don't even talk about it anymore because it's a given. It's almost like Jokic's IQ. It's like, why are you guys even talking about it anymore? It's like, yeah, Giannis, he's fucking an animal. No one even talks about it anymore. Dude, he's the scariest player for your best player to play against because you think he's going to get injured just from his fucking shoulder caving you in.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I'd like imagine trying to stop Giannis. It'd just be brutal.
And now he has skills. It's fucked.
Yeah, he has a finesse game. Fuck. Giannis in any other era would be the most dominant player. Just like in any other era. It's fucked up. It is really fucked up, and he's winning. So it's he's doing everything he can, but it's just it doesn't matter. You got a Serbian dude who's just 40, 15 and 15 a night or whatever the fuck. Yeah. So I'll probably try and watch all of these games. Love them all. Big diamond tester games for a lot of these teams. Obviously, the Celtics Magic we talked about it. Going to be interesting in its own right to see who can, what's faker, the Magic team or the Celtics slump in shooting. But speaking of diamond testers, Uncut Gems was the movie you picked, Jacob. 2019, directed by Josh and Benny Safdie, starring Adam Sandler, Julia Fox, Lakeith Stanfield, our guy Kevin Garnett, and Idina Menzel, and Eric Bogosian. I mean, what is there to say about this movie? Jacob, it was your pick. Let's hear it.
It felt exactly like the first time I watched it. It's just a anxiety attack of a movie because you're just watching it. You're just naturally root for protagonists. And is this guy just absolutely messing himself? He just ruining his own life over and over again. So it's just stressing you out. It's almost like it's Did you see Friendship, the Tim Robinson movie? No. It's almost like how people kind of didn't like it for reasons like that because it's kind of like a Tim Robinson. That movie is basically a Tim Robinson skit where he always ruins his own life in those skits, but it cuts away like after he embarrasses himself. But no, the movie is just like you're sitting with that like him, his wife leaving him and all that. That's kind of how this movie feels. Where you're like, oh my god, the protagonist just can't catch a break, or he does, and then he does the stupidest thing ever. Yeah, it's a fun watch though at the same time because stressful watches it's engaging, that's for sure. Like it grabs you
front to back. Everything like matters. It's literally a roller coaster ride of emotion throughout the film because he's winning and he's losing and he's digging himself into deeper holes and he's winning crazier things to get out. It's an amazing film, and it's a breeze for 2 hours. It's crazy. There's so much to talk about, but I really liked the storyline, the interplay between like obviously KG being in it. Tough look for us Celtics fans, especially considering the allegations that he's involved in Chauncey Billups' schemes. Although he might have been exonerated or whatever. He has an alibi at least.
Yeah, he
but
looks
it's a movie
like
about sports gambling.
he looks like he's coming out the best out of all those people, which is good for us.
Yeah, and he was good in this role. I mean, KG is electric whenever he's on screen. We know that now. Considering his shows and stuff, he was an electric player, and is a hard ass personality, and that is certainly translated into his post career. The cast is stacked. Sandler giving his best performance ever. I think most diverse.
Yeah, it has.
Sandler. This would be great for Steve because he'd be like, well, Grown-Ups, and then Grown-Ups 2. But
for what he's asked
in terms
to do,
of
it's insane.
Dramatic acting, when he gets his ass kicked and he's crying in his office, he's like, don't look at me. And then he like actually breaks down after Julia Fox, talks to him. I was like, wow, that's actually some great range. And it's Sandler, so he's got big goofy teeth,
Yeah.
But that does what's his name? Howie Ratner. That's the main character's name. He feels like a real life guy. Everybody in this movie feels like a real life guy. There's like not besides The Weeknd, like a star. Like everybody feels like they are people who have existed, and this story has actually happened, despite it being so grandiose and high stakes. But like specifically, the role that really stuck out to me was the debt collector.
Yeah,
that guy with the raspy voice, Keith William Richards. I looked him up. He plays such a like real life intimidating dude, despite he's an older, skinnier guy who he's from New Jersey, so he has that accent. But I've seen that guy in real life. Like he's one of my uncle's friends named Fitzy, who's like an alcoholic at the bar in Southie, who still does paper books. Like he still has a bookie that's he doesn't use DraftKings or any of that. He has the Fighting Irish tattooed on him. But yeah, he had throat cancer, and his raspy intimidation performance, that he beat it obviously, but he got it from a little piece of New York history. It's very New York. He got it from the toxic dust from 9/11. So like that's just an interesting character trait in a role that's pretty important, but it's real. Like this guy is actually from New Jersey. He got throat cancer from 9/11, which is awful, but he had that, his affectation is from that. And obviously every jeweler feels that. I think he used a lot of real jewelers in the role too, like the Safdie Bros. It goes out. Even Eric Bogosian as like the big bad. He's his brother-in-law, and he ends up being like kind of weaselly at the end. He just has a lot of money. He himself ends up getting killed because he's so weaselly. Great, just a great film. And it feels like it's so anxiety riddled and it's so crazy, but it feels like it's weirdly how gambling addiction works.
It would go, yeah.
You just keep hitting but you lose. You're already down. This guy's down hundreds of thousands, life-changing money, but he's a diamond dealer, so obviously he has money. But you just keep hitting the button thinking like, all right, I got something this time. It's going to happen. And for every win he has, he's robbing Peter to pay Paul the whole time. And he wins at the end, right? He wins. It's a victory. He finally did the thing that won, and it didn't matter because he gets shot in the head because he pissed the guy off so much. I looked through a deeper philosophical look into the film, and it's about how capitalism sort of forces you into like winning and losing is the path of utter victory and a complete annihilation. They're the same pursuit, meaning you can only win if you destroy the other person or if you destroy something or vice versa. But it ends up just catching up to you because they lead the same area. Somebody's getting destroyed. Sometimes you're the one that gets destroyed. If you keep trying to will your way and force things, and he gets chewed up and spit out, and it doesn't how he's a bad guy. He's a guy you're rooting for the whole time. It's an interesting juxtaposition how the Safdies did it, and definitely Adam Sandler's best role, in my opinion.
No, yeah. I mean, betting itself is like that. Like you explained, like a lot of people have to lose for you to win with gambling. That's kind of the nature of it, which is like you're saying, the nature of capitalism. It's how it all goes. But yeah, and like you said about him, it all not mattering in the end too, definitely felt very symbolic out of all things. That's for sure.
Yeah. And it passes no judgment on any of the characters, like how he didn't die because he was a bad guy. He was just hitting the button. He was this close to winning and turning his whole life around, and he was this close to failing and losing his own life and everything he loves. And he just, the way it shook out, he lost in the long run.
It's why, and it was just kind of why he shouldn't have been playing that game to begin with, because, like, you know what I mean? You got to be focusing on the real things like family and stuff, not chasing all these crazy wins and stuff, because it could just blow up in your face or not matter in the end anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the one of my favorite moments from the film is when Howie Ratner, halfway through the movie, he runs out of his daughter's like play recital or whatever, and she delivers a great performance, and he's running away from the debt collectors. He bites one, and they beat him up, and they throw him in the trunk at the end, and he comes home, and he knows, like, these people are going to kill me because they just hit me and stripped me down naked, and I begged for everything, and they still did it, and these guys are not fucking around. And he's there with his daughter, and his daughter hates him, a teenage attrition, whatever you want to call it, just like the whatever dad, or, he's such a goofy character. And he's just like, I'm really proud of you, and I just love you. And, it's like, I'm an idiot. I know all that stuff. And he just has like a real moment where he's like, I'm going to fucking die.
Yeah.
But he can't stop. He just cannot stop because, like you said, it's the breaks of the game. He's so close to winning. He's so close to losing.
Yeah.
But meantime, he should have just stopped and been a family, because he loved his wife. He loves his daughter. He has real life stuff that he just doesn't want to pay attention to.
No. So many moments where you're like, please stop now. But nope, not going to go that way. It's like, you're finally kind of okay, dude. But he's like, no, it's just can't scratch the itch enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like sunk cost, it's all the economic principles of capitalism, wrapped up into one. It's like sunk cost fallacy, all that shit. The illusion of more. Interesting stuff. There was a point, there was like a little talk between Sandler's character and KG, and they talked about who's winning in a fight, Ben Wallace or Tony Allen. KG said Tony Allen, but there's just no way, right? Like Ben Wallace in a street fight, like he has to be a -200 favorite, like going away.
I'd take Ben.
Wallace was such a,
that has to be KG riding for his guy. Yeah, KG's riding for his guy at that point. That's it. But I mean, Tony would beat up most people in NBA history. But yeah, we're talking about a dude who got like was 4-time depoy off pure fucking effort. Yeah,
I mean, Tony's he just got arrested this week for like cocaine possession.
Yeah.
Like he is like grit and grind, like that. He literally changed the fucking mentality in Memphis at the time because of his hard-nosed play style. One of the best defenders for the guard position in that era. Tough dude for sure.
If you're going up against Ben when it comes to hard-nosed ball, it's like him and Rodman are the two goats of that.
Yeah, just like Karl Malone is the only other guy I think I've seen who's that jacked and physically intimidating. Ben Wallace with the afro, I mean, he was undersized for the position, but god damn it, I wouldn't want to fucking fight that dude. I'd much rather try against Tony Allen.
He smoked, he fucking held Shaq to like normal, like he kind of held Shaq to like a reasonable line for them to destroy the fucking Lakers in the championship. Like Ben Wallace was that dude. Shout out Ben Wallace. Watching that back's insane. Watching a 6'7" guy take on prime Shaq and be successful is like one of the more mind-blowing things of all time. It doesn't make sense looking back at it.
No, not at all. One of the most it's so obvious. And shout out to Chauncey Billups and Rasheed.
Yeah, true.
But damn, that was such a great defensive team, and Ben Wallace was the cornerstone of that.
Yeah, a feel good victory. Especially the Pistons haven't done anything like that. Was their like one bright spot. They might come up into a new generation. But speaking of basketball too, with this movie, that was definitely a highlight. Like not only did KG, but seeing that series that we know of, that we won, that very stressful series, which is also hilarious. Didn't that won 7, right? Yeah, it did. And it was a hilarious how like those early round series against the Hawks and Sixers with the big three were never easy. So it kind of felt exactly how those felt in real life. Like it's funny that they chose like a really stressful series. That or the Bulls would have worked because the Bulls always gave us trouble, but it felt like a nice series to choose for the theme of the movie. That's for sure.
Yeah, and he was talking about who they were playing the Sixers in the playoffs, and they were talking about how Elton Brand has nothing on Like Elton Brand was a solid power forward in his time, not
a true
not
forgotten
no easy
player.
matchup.
No,
Yeah,
he was a 20 and 10 type guy for a bit. He had a decent little prime, but he was just never on like a contender, so no one remembers him that much. There are going to be a lot of players like that in our time, that's for sure. Like Sabonis.
absolutely. Yeah, Sabonis highlight tapes in 20 years gonna be like, this guy was a problem.
Exactly.
He lit the beam for one season. That was it.
But I don't even know if Brandon. Well, the thing is, Elton Brand probably had not even a good highlight tape. He was just an enhanced like Brandon Bass, basically.
Yeah, you really like back to the basket, pound the rock,
some dunks,
possessions,
some 2-hand jams.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like 2008-ish, like 2011. That's really when that Celtics team was really where my NBA love kicked in. So obviously that's a huge reason why I love the film, because the star is a guy from my childhood who was like the dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it covers that team. And it's just
guy that oozes personality, like perfect for stuff like this. He's like a player that you don't have to direct at all, probably.
just be you, dude.
Yeah, exactly. He just, it's like Anthony Edwards, probably. It's like, what are you going to tell this guy? He's just going to fucking do what he wants anyway and be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, also shout out to The Weeknd.
Yeah, I know.
Just being in the film for what?
That is funny. I actually did think that when I saw it. I was like, that's hilarious because I don't remember him in this movie, but it's like, this must have been one of the first times we saw him in movies. Now he's just shoving himself and stuff with his show and stuff. But like, this might have been his first taste.
That's what I was saying. Like, obviously, it covers 2011, right when The Weeknd blew out onto the scene. Like, he was signed to Drake's label. He released House of Balloons and all that stuff. So obviously, he was a huge musician at the time. But 2019, when the film was released, he was like on the brink of his mega stardom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had released like, I think, Starboy the year before or whatever. And then like a few years later, he's the biggest artist in Billboard 100, and he's opening the Super Bowl. He's acting in his own HBO show. You know, he's this definitely spurred. Is that the worst thing to come out of this film? Oh, fuck, what is that show called?
It's either him or Julia Fox. I mean, I don't even care. She's fine, but she's just crazy now. Dated Kanye. That was hilarious. It's to see her back in what broke her out was hilarious.
I was Josh Shafty's musing Uncut Gems.
I know.
The Idol. That was The Weeknd's series. I watched like the first 3 episodes, and it's really bad.
I heard it was like the worst thing ever. Yeah.
Not great. But I love The Weeknd's music, so you know, keep pumping that shit out. And yeah, Julia Fox. I mean, the way no wonder she became a star after this film.
Yeah. No wonder she was a muse.
Good actress too.
No, definitely.
She was the second time she's made her appearance on this podcast. For your other movie starred her, or your first film you picked.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Fuck, what is it called? The one with John Cheadle.
I was about to say Catch Me If You Can, but obviously it's not. But it's some sort of name like this, or like
it's like Car Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
But either way, yeah, great film. And Steve, we're going to wrap it up without him, but his choice was Blue Chips. So that is the movie we're going to be watching. I believe it released in 1992. I believe our guy Shaq is in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So Blue Chips, that is the film for this week. Steve, obviously we missed you here. Hopefully you do a better job preparing for the show that you're on.
It's probably incredibly mad right now.
That laptop is just...
There's probably holes through everything in his apartment, his house right now. He's just punching through doors and shit.
Hopefully we won't be doing that this weekend, watching the Celtics in Orlando. But Jacob, thank you. This has been a good ep. We'll wrap it here. Let's go C's.
Go Drake May.
Go Drake May,
A savior.
third place MVP. Let's beat the goddamn Tampa Bay Bucks this week.
That's tough. That'll be a good game.
Hell yeah. Well, all right. Let's go C's. Bye.
Bye.